Shopping, to me, is an involuntary act of charity where you give away loads of hard-earned money to somebody who needs it the least, and which gives me no joy and satisfaction. To a lot of people, I know shopping is a matter of pride. It gives them pleasure, makes them feel happy. They are charged up. But in my case, it is because of sudden seizures. It gives me heartbreaks. My heart rate goes up. Fellow Toastmasters and friends. There were these days when you could barter things where you needed things the most to things where you had in excess. Well, please note these 2 points. Things that you had in excess, you trade off with things that you need the most. But today, I feel shopping mostly happens where you end up buying things that you need the least, with the money that you never have in excess. When you're walking on the streets or in a shopping mall, it's very easy to find out who's the buyer and who's the spender. The buyer would be walking a few steps ahead, happy, jubilant, excited, while the latter would be a few steps behind, as if an animal being dragged to an abattoir to get slaughtered. Well, whenever I go out shopping with my spouse, you will always see me with my head drooped down, fiddling on the mobile, trying to avoid that eye contact, when my wife is always looking around for those beautiful products being displayed, and suddenly she will see something really exciting and turn around and ask that magical question to me. What do you think? It's a trap. Never attempt to answer that question. It's worse than a deep sea and a devil. A gentle with a nod is a good enough gesture. On one of our shopping trips, our first pit stop was at a shoe store. Beautiful, glittering, excellent stilettos, boots, sandals, all displayed. And the salespeople who looked like angels in heaven to my wife were actually like scavengers waiting for their prey to me. My wife was looking around the shelves, looking for this beautiful pair of shoes for herself, while I was secretly turning and flipping the shoe around, trying to find and get a peek of the price. She got herself comfortable on an ottoman and asked the salesman to get one size for her. And in a moment, I saw one box flying from the attic, a mid-sized boy sitting on top, perched on top. He threw a box down and he caught it. He went down on his knee, the salesman went down on his knee and comfortably just pulled the shoe out of the box, pushed it into her feet and made her feel like Cinderella, while I was grinning like the stepmother, waiting for her to reject that. And then she turned around and asked that magical question, which was, what do you think? I looked at her, I looked at the box, I looked at the salesman, I didn't know how much it cost, but involuntarily I said, yeah, it looks nice, I'll take it. I ended up at the cashier's desk. He pulled my card gently from my hand and ka-ching it went. My money was gone. 3 shoes we bought. Next was at a sari store. It was a beautiful designer store, mannequins draped with these glittering saris and jewelry. The doorman pulled the door open. We walked in like royalty. Gentlemen and ladies behind the counter wished us in chorus and said, good afternoon. She was sold. I was hallucinating. Can you show me something in turquoise blue? She asked. And in a moment, the entire counter was strewn with beautiful saris and all shades of blue I've ever seen in my life. And to which she said, do you have anything better? And there, the sergeant of the salesman walked in gracefully into that room. He just put his hand on the top, pulled the sari, the piece de resistance from the shelf, and draped himself with that sari, put his hand on his waist, and asked me, what do you think? That was the most horrid sight I've ever seen, my friend. A guy with a bold mustache draped in a sari? Never ever. My wife echoed the same question, what do you think? And this time I made a blunder. And I asked this question, how much? There was utter silence in the room. And And to please everyone, I had to buy 3 more. I was already trembling. My feet couldn't feel the ground anymore, but there was so much of shopping still left to do. Our cart was filled with perfumes, handbags, accessories, all that my wife wanted. And I ended up buying 1 black pair of socks that I had to wear to office tomorrow. Fast forward, I came back home, still feeling miserable, was reconciling all my bills, and I thought I have some money left for the rest of the month to survive. It was a week later. Bright Sunday morning, we were sitting and having a cup of coffee with some butter cookies, and I was reading my newspaper with my face covered with it. And my wife screamed in ecstasy and said, "Did you see the supplement?" I was not sure what she was talking about. I turned around the newspaper, and friends, there was a big ad from a shopping complex next door which said, "Heavy discounts, great offers, and big and bold, shop till you drop." I pulled the newspaper right on front of the face and trying to think of reasons good enough to evade this whole situation. She pulled the paper down gently, looked at me straight into my eyes, winked at me, and asked that magical question, which was? Thank you.